What's up guys, Bobby here and welcome to the Sony Cinema Quick Tips series. In this video, we're going to talk about aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is a really interesting topic because there's no right or wrong way. You can really shoot in whatever aspect ratio you want. Now, of course, if your client wants something specific, then that's probably going to be what you need to shoot in. But if it's a film that you have control over, you can shoot something in the normal 16:9 ratio, like this. You could shoot in a 4:3 ratio, old school, like this. Or you can get even wider and shoot like this, or even this. So that's the great thing about aspect ratio, and the Sony cameras give you a really awesome tool in order to put a marker on your screen so you know what will be in frame. Now some cameras don't offer this, so if you wanted to shoot in a wider aspect ratio, you put gaff tape on the screen or little markers here and there. I've even put post-it notes on the side of the screen so I could kind of gauge where that might cut off. But with Sony, there are markers in a variety of aspect ratios that you can put right on the screen. It doesn't interfere with anything, and the best part is it still records the entire screen. So you're still recording a 16:9 video, but you know where the cutoff will be when you put a mat over it. So let's dive into the menu and show you how you can apply those settings, and then we'll go into the editor and show you how it works in there as well. All right, so we're in our camera here. You can see the markings on my screen right now. There are no guidelines turned on. We're gonna go into our menu and go up to the gear on the top and go down. You want to go to marker display and make sure this is turned on. It's important that that is on. And in the settings is where you'll actually set stuff. Now the center here, I have it turned on. That's just the crosshairs in the middle, but the aspect is where you turn the markers on specifically to what you want. So I'm going to turn 235-1 on. And you can see there's now these white bars going across my screen that shows the aspect ratio. So anything in between those white bars would be in frame if I were to put a mat over it or crop it in post. Similarly, you can go in, you can change this to something like 185-1, just a little bit wider. You can still see the white bars there. Or you can go in, we can even change it to something like, let's see, maybe 4:3. 4:3, the bars are going to go the other way. That's almost a square aspect ratio. It's a great way to make sure you don't make any mistakes, that everything will be in frame, nothing will be cut out or look weird. So let's head over to our editor and see what it looks like on that end. All right, so here we are in the editor. We have the video of Kodak sitting in front of the backdrop here. Now this is not color graded for whatever that's worth. I'm just screen recording and it's still rendering out. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add, I do this with an adjustment layer just because I always do my color grading above it as well. But you could just add a letterbox to this, or of course your project file, your timeline could be in the actual aspect ratio, which is 1920 by 817 if you're shooting in 235-1 aspect ratio. Now on this adjustment layer, I'm also going to add in a letterbox just to show you, because this is a 16:9 timeline here, or project. And if you go right up here to the aspect ratio, I can go ahead and change this. We usually shoot in 235-1, but there are other ones here as well. There are some that aren't on the Sony as well here. But again, 235-1 is what we usually shoot in. And one of the nice things is that, like I said, it does record the whole frame. So it's not cropping in camera. You do have all of this to work with. So a great benefit to that is if I do have that letterbox on, I can actually move this around to maybe reposition exactly what I want in frame, and I have some room to work with. Now the letterbox that I have here in Final Cut does not have a 4:3 option, but, sorry, I moved this out of frame here. But again, you could find one pretty easily. You could even crop it yourself. This won't be perfectly accurate, but you know, something like that is the 4:3. So that was the Sony Cinema quick tips video on aspect ratio. We hope you learned something. Thank you for stopping by. As always, we'd love to have you subscribe and follow along as we produce more videos to help you grow your brand and your skill set. Thanks.